And today we're going to talk about the mindset that you need to get into incredible shape.
But health helps.
Yeah.
And health, the thing is, if you neglect health for 5 years, you're going to be playing catch up for 10 years.
Do? So the first thing I'd say with anyone with, like, should I say a mindset issue, or so should we say you're a bit confused about what to do, is first look at what you're doing in terms of you watching too much Netflix, too much porn, too much gaming, too much drugs, too much alcohol. Look at those things. Are you distracting yourself too much? Or if you're not, then brilliant.
Like 10-day wins are fantastic at building up adherence and helping you feel like you're hitting your goals regularly and consistently.
Welcome back to the Perform Well podcast. This is the podcast for you if you're looking for performance and wellness optimization so that you can not only smash your career, but also have a better life, better relationships, and better health. We believe that performance and wellness are yin and yang and work together. So listen in as we dive into topics that are going to help you optimize your life for the better. And today we're going to talk about the mindset that you need to get into incredible shape.
Mindset's one of those big areas for people, isn't it? I think a lot of people hear the word mindset and they're like, but what is a mindset?
Yeah.
What are we talking about when it comes to mindset? Now, we're going to be talking about how it can get you into incredible shape. I'm talking, you're feeling great about your body. You've created a new engine for yourself that drives you on and drives you forward. Now, for you, Nick, obviously you did the big London to Bristol cycle. What kind of mindset did you need when you were doing that?
Well, ironically, the mindset for that was I wasn't even in a mindset. I was just present. Because like in that thing, if you let the idea of like the fact that in 20 hours time you're still going to be cycling and you're going to be in massive amounts of pain like get to you, then you're not going to do it. So you have to like almost switch off from the future and just be focused on what you're doing at that moment in time.
Interesting. I like that. Yeah. I think it's really applicable. And when we're talking about getting yourself in shape, I think you've got to be really focused on the now and the current, which is why us as PTs, we like to set short-term goals for our clients. Like 10-day wins are fantastic at building up adherence and helping you feel like you're hitting your goals regularly and consistently. So if you're ever struggling for a bit of motivation towards your goal, try setting yourself a 10-day win, like drink water for 10 days. Like something as simple as that to help with your goals. But when we're talking about getting in shape, obviously it is a bit of a long game. How do you think we can tailor someone's mindset to help them, not maximize, but help them? Because
I mean, there's a few things, right? First of all, right, you've got to think about your distractions. Like that's the first step I always think anyone should look at, is because people are distracted quite a lot. And if they don't handle that thing first, they don't have the space, mental space to actually then start thinking about what they can do. So the first thing I'd say with anyone with like, should I say a mindset issue, or so should we say you're a bit confused about what to do, is first look at what you're doing in terms of you watching too much Netflix, too much porn, too much gaming, too much drugs, too much alcohol. Look at those things. Are you distracting yourself too much? Or if you're not, then brilliant. Find some space to then be able to go on to the next step. Now, the next step is what I would say is setting a goal. And law of attraction has been thrown around a lot because it's a really good way of setting goals that you're sort of becoming you're sort of changing your identity to kind of picture yourself as the one that's already completed those goals. And that's a really effective way of doing it. And it's been shown in The Secret, it's been shown in multiple movies like Limitless, that, you know, if you imagine a future where you want to go and you imagine you're already there, you can be carried forward into that future with a long enough time frame.
And I think one of the best things that we can use as a tool is visualization. 80% of the world's population are visual learners. That was from a census done in 2010. You can have a look at it if you want. But that really goes to show that how many of us prioritize visual learning as a way of picturing what we're doing. Because as a species, we copy, we mimic a lot of people. And you look at kids at a young age, they call it the golden years, don't they? When a kid's coming from about 3 to 11, I think it is, or might be even shorter than that. That it's very impressionable, that people have and pick up traits and different characteristics in that short period of time. So when you're building up your mindset, you have to still be, as I like to say, plastic. You have to be plastic and still get in a mindset of being plastic. And it's about not being arrogant, I think, above anything else. I think it's about not being arrogant about hitting your targets. It's about understanding that you may be writing the same goal for 5 years and it may not have come true yet, but that doesn't mean you're not on the right path to your goal. It just means it's going to take a little bit longer from the position you're in now. Well,
that's the biggest problem with it. Is like, you know, if you don't feel like you're getting closer to your goal, then you want to quit. And that's what most people do. Like, you know, people, like, you know, most of your clients, let's say you've got a client that wants to lose weight and they keep seeing the scale go up and down. It is going down over time, but they don't see that. They see the up and down fluctuation. It's very easy for them when it goes up for them to throw everything out and go back to their old ways. because their belief is like, oh, this is pointless. I'm putting all this effort in, getting nothing for it, and they don't see the picture, the big picture.
You know what? Hormozy said a really good quote, which I've actually got written down here, which is solve sadness with knowledge and anxiety with decision. So when you get anxious about how you're feeling and how the results and progress you're making, it requires a decision to take action on that anxiety, or if you'll forever be anxious. You think of people with chronic anxiety, yes, there is a predisposition in the brain, but they normally struggle to make decisions, and because of the struggle to make decisions, normally more anxiety builds up, and it's like layering a cake. The anxiety just builds and builds and builds and builds until the cake topples over. And, you know, you have what they call in the youth call today, a mentee B.
A mentee B.
A mentee B.
What is that?
Mental breakdown.
Oh, right.
But it's a slang term for mental breakdown.
So
it's
anyway, that's such a sad term, isn't it?
Different generation.
What was I saying? Yeah. Okay. So the thing, what it comes down to is identity, right? Like if you view yourself as the kind of person that can't do something, you won't do it. And even if you try and do it, you just won't have the energy to want to do it. You won't put much effort into it. And then the fulfilling of, what is it, self-prophecy?
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's the one. Self-fulfilling prophecy will then be that you have cemented that identity. You know, I'm not good at this. I try it, see, I didn't get the result, so I am the same as I said I was. I'm terrible. Tony Robbins, we all know Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Fucking mate, what a man. He said that your beliefs influence your actions will then influence your beliefs, and it goes around like a cycle. So you either stop it at the belief level or the action level, which is why Hormozy was saying action alleviates anxiety, or at least I believe that's what he said.
Yeah.
So taking action can spin the wheel and start getting you to change your beliefs, but it is your beliefs that you have to change, and it all comes down to identity. So if you're someone that wants to change your body, get into incredible shape, you have to imagine that it's possible for you. And that's hard to do unless you've got someone to help you, or you're willing to do the work and get rid of the distractions to have the space to be able to do the work. But you have to look at changing how you feel yourself, like fundamentally.
I think it is. It comes down to that. There's something that I learned when I was watching a podcast, and it was a podcast with Jay Shetty on it, and he was speaking to Steve Bartlett, and they were basically saying that you can't see your reflection in boiling water. You have to wait for the water to calm before you have clarity. And it's a similar thing here where we're talking about clarity. There's a lot of quotes thrown around.
Mate, there's so many quotes, man. Like, ever since Bruce Lee, man, be like water. Now everyone's like copying, making their own shit.
That's how it works. But yeah, when like you're talking about that, you need that clarity to come back on yourself and understand that you will progress towards your target. And we were saying about being coaches there. I had a client a little while back. Now, the man has lost 10 kilos in 6 months. He's done bloody well, and it's all fat. He's done really well. He's dropped a lot of body fat. He's done fantastic. But he recently had to meet a weight to try and hit to cut his BMI for his weigh-in, basically. Can't believe BMI is still used. Not going to get into that, though. But he had to do it for the constabulary because he wants to be a police officer.
Yeah, they measure BMI for that?
They measure BMI for that.
So sad.
Yes. But he had to cut down, and he wanted to lose a lot of weight to really lower his BMI. So when he went in with the BMI score, they're like, damn, your BMI is great. Like, you know, it should be where it is. Anyway, he decided to go on a keto diet. He asked me the question, and I just gave him the advice because I'm like, in 2 weeks, you can lose like 5 kilos. Fun fact, he did lose 5 kilos in 2 weeks. Didn't take him long.
No.
But he then comes back, and obviously he's now gained weight. And his mindset shifted a bit because he's seen the number go back up again, and now he's concerned about he's gained body fat back, he's feeling a bit more sluggish, he's feeling more puffy. But this is where we come back to the point of like, us as coaches give you direction with these kind of mindsets, because his mindset was good for 6 months, and then you throw in a little bit of a curveball that he feels great for 2 weeks. But he's still on the path. He's just had a little bit of an up and down, and then you just come back into the consistency again.
Yeah.
A lot of people lose it when they have a wobble. Well, apologies for interrupting the podcast. We know you're getting fully engrossed into this episode, and we really appreciate you stopping on the video on YouTube or on Spotify if you found us through one of the search pages. Make sure to leave a review and a subscription if you haven't already. But we just wanted to interject a point here that me and Nick have 15 years of coaching experience between us, and it's only getting better as we've got better guests on the podcast. The only way we can do that, though, is with the growth of our program that we've just released. We've got a 12-month Perform Well program, which has just dropped, and we'd love you guys to get involved in it. If you want to know more details, make sure to head to the description, as we've got our website in there, which can give you a full overlay of the program. We're looking to help career-driven professionals, entrepreneurs, small business owners, and anyone dominate their life by improving their lifestyle. Me and Nick like to claim ourselves as experts in this area, and if you want to check out some of our other transformations, I'm sure you do. We've got some amazing people who have performed so well off the back of this program. Have a cracking day, and we really appreciate your time. Let's get back to the podcast.
But but the thing is, like, we all have wobbles. Yeah. Even Tony Robbins, 100% has a wobble. I've heard him when he speaks, and he's always saying that he has those moments all the time, but he primes himself every morning with a routine, which is why we always say routine is really important, because if you have a routine, you have the space to be able to actually remind yourself of these things and try and get yourself into state. And getting into state is pretty much similar as a mindset. You know, it's getting yourself into a physical and mental state where you can perform at the level that you want to perform at. And yeah, mate, I see it all the time with clients, man. Like, they go into wobbles, we go into wobbles. When business goes up, we're really happy. When business goes down, we're like, oh, the ground shaking.
What I want to give I want to give people on here like some actionable steps that they can take from this. Now, not saying everyone's got the time for this, and I'm not saying everyone's got 45 minutes in the morning before they wake up that they can do this.
Or before 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
What are we doing?
Are you ready for this?
Workout.
So in the mornings, if you want to get yourself in the state, and I understand if you've got kids, it's not possible, but if you're seeking a strategy to help you get in a state of mind for the morning, I've got some steps for you. So when you first wake up in the morning, the first thing you want to do, we always speak about light exposure. First thing you want to do, get some light exposure in your eyes. And then if you want to go into some breath work straight after that, breath work has been proven to be very useful. 2 apps I'd recommend: Wim Hof, the breathing app. I don't know if you've used it, or State.
Yeah.
That's where the idea came from. State is another app that you can get on the App Store. You look at those two, they're very good for helping breath work. Then I'd go into some meditation work, because breath work and meditation are two different things. Well, they're linked, but they're two different things. You can link them, but you ideally want to use them differently. So if you're looking for meditation, use the apps like Calm. I'm not a guru. I don't understand meditation entirely, but apps like Calm will guide you through self-meditation. And then a lot of people say a little bit of activity in the morning really helps. So like a 10-minute walk just to get out. And I can tell you now, your state of mind when you start your day will be completely different. Completely different. Now, I understand.
And drinking a glass of water. Search YouTube, Tony Robbins guided meditation. It's about 15 minutes. You won't be disappointed. I promise you. It has the breath work at the beginning. It goes into gratitude. It goes into your goals. It is literally the whole thing that we talked about.
But you think about high performers and why they're in the position that they are and why people succeed in their careers. They have these things in place. They give themselves the time to do it. Obviously, it's easier when you can structure your day. And hopefully we're talking to a lot of people that can actually structure their days, and it's not like you have a 6 a.m. meeting you have to do.
You say that, but actually I don't think that's true. I think one of the problems that a lot of business owners, professionals have, is that they actually can't structure their time. They actually work too much. They don't have time for their friends and family. They don't have time for their health. Like, if you haven't got time for your health, you are not good at time management. End of. There's no fucking way that you're good at time management if you can't look after your health. It's bullshit.
It's the one thing that a lot of people neglect. If you've seen on this podcast the amount of business owners that we have had come on and spoken about, I just want to get back into this. I used to do this, is a big phrase that we hear. And it's because people have dropped out of the cycle. And I get it, people want to prioritize things, but health helps. And health, the thing is, if you neglect health for 5 years, you're going to be playing catch up for 10 years. That's my genuine opinion on it. That neglecting your health for a long period of time just to focus on business and become a millionaire, fair play to you, but you're then playing catch up with your health.
There's a saying that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So if you take it slower, look after your health, you'll have more energy, you'll be able to go faster than everything else, and then before you know it, you feel great and your business is booming and your health is, like, your relationships at work going well. It all works.
Do you think people, like, this carries on from a podcast we did previously, but I think a lot of people shit on the balance mindset and shit on, like, just living a life of balance?
Well, it's like there's extremes to the balance, and then there's like deviations, and like deviations normal, but you shouldn't be going extreme. I mean, Hormozy will say the opposite. Gary Vee will probably say the opposite. They always do, mate. But like at the end of the day, like, their parasympathetic nervous system, which is the nervous system that's keeping them relaxed, is going to be switched on more. Like, they're going to be more relaxed more often because they love what they do. They love working. Whereas people, when you say work more or work less, they think it's like, you hate this, I have to do this, I hate this, 12 hours a day, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. It's not like that. People work a lot because they love it, not because they have to. I don't know who can work 12 hours a day for 20 years and hate what they do without being completely disheveled.
I'm going to throw something in the mixer.
Yeah.
Work ethics are like diets.
Yeah.
Because you get extremes in all the cases of work ethics.
You do.
Where you get the extreme, like as you say, Gary Vee and Hormozi love their work. Absolutely love their work. But we could, not saying they're comparing to them, but you could say they are like in the industry and how they promote it, like our carnivore diets, our keto diets. One thing has brought them success, and that's all they talk about because it's worked for them.
I think if you read between the lines with them, they do say that it's not, they don't mean it in the sense that you should hate what you do. They always have some element of you should love what you do. Like they do, they say that, but you have to really weed it out of them.
Yeah.
What's this? Still calling me.
Yeah. So, well, we appreciate you guys watching the podcast. Thank you for tuning in on the Mindset One. We've appreciated you jumping on here. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like. We've got podcasts coming out every single Sunday. So tune in, drop a comment, and let us know what you thought of the podcast. And we'll catch you guys later.
Next time.